What if you could reprogram your mind to unlock abundance, purpose, and deeper inner freedom? So today we are diving into the transformative world of Alina Hipca Radovici, a trailblazer in mind reprogramming, empowerment, and the science of conscious living. Welcome, Alina.
Thank you so much for having me. It's my absolute pleasure. And hi to everyone that's seeing this podcast. I'm absolutely honored to be here.
So we are ready to explore the intersection of neuroscience, consciousness, and the universal laws that shape our reality. Alina, you've been recognized globally for your work in mind reprogramming and empowerment. Could you share the pivotal moment that led you down this path?
Yes, thank you so much for asking and for having me again. So the moment was an accident, a bike accident that I had that resulted in leg injury, and medics said that I had some issues, some health issues that were close to not being able to be resolved anymore. And it was a moment in which I perceived I had a lot of things to share with the world, but my body wasn't helping me anymore until I found, of course, the medical solution for my condition. And I had paralysis on my left leg. I walked on a stick, and I stayed in bed for 3 months, in which I started understanding how the mind works. I have been always passionate about this, and I was diving daily into meditation in order for me to imagine that my body was in a good state, that I could walk. I was projecting what Joe Dispenza said at that moment. And at the same time, in the hours that were left in the day, I was working and I doubled my business. I had a marketing agency at the time. So that was a moment that was pivotal for 2 reasons. At first, I perceived my mind that was going south. I could perceive that I was losing control of my mind at that time, because it was a pretty personal and impactful thing that happened to my body, and I was in pain. And at the same time, I perceived that I could either choose to stay a victim of my reality or to change it, even though it sounded crazy, unrealistic, a total fantasy at the time. And I say this with much responsibility when I say it, that we are able to shape our reality in 2 ways. One, to imagine in our mind and to work with ourselves, of course, to dissolve the perceived blockages and so on, but at the same time to take inspired action, what we were talking about entering this podcast. So this was my pivotal moment that I will forever keep in my heart, even though it was extremely painful, both emotionally and physically. It was my phoenix moment. I was rebirth. Yes.
So your journey is described as a testament of resilience and innovation. So how did this personal experience shape your professional mission?
So I always had the impression that I would reach impressive heights in business, and I would stay at the same table with amazing people. But I was born in a family that's in Romania, that has a history of communism, in which my mother, my grandmother, and all the women in my family taught me not to speak out loud, to play the nice girl, to tame my voice, to tame my ambitions, not because they were trying to keep me down, but they were trying to keep me safe. That's the way they were taught. And I always had this urge of finding out why. I was the one in my classroom that was asking the professor, when he said that this glass is from glass, I was asking why. Why is this like it is? And I was always curious. So by growing and by working with a lot of people, I worked in a corporation that then I quit, then I started my own business, and then I started understanding that people had a lot of mind blocks, emotional blocks, and that they were stopping themselves from having the success they wanted, and that they tried so heavily to do with actions, and they couldn't be aligned emotionally. So I started teaching myself how to be disciplined, how to have emotional hygiene, how to maybe it's too pretentious to say, but to have a clean sheet of paper from my life, and then to build whatever I wanted. And then I started working with clients that were implementing what I told them, and that started having results such as doubling their income in 6 months, such as growing with 600K in 1 year, such as finding new people to hire in their team, such as manifesting a partner. And I say manifesting, even though it's very, very hard work. It's not staying in meditation position and manifesting. It's aligning your mind and doing inspired action at the same time.
So how does the consciously reprogramming your mind open gateways to higher states of awareness and self-realization?
Oh, that's such a spiritual question, and I'm very. I have a special connection with you, as I've told you, and this is why I accepted your invite so fast, and I was happy to be here, and I am still. I'm grateful. So my objective was always not having money nor fame, but was to have a higher quality of my inside world, because my inside world is so rich that I wanted it to be a very nice place for me to live in. It's the relationship I have for my entire life. And once I understood how this is done, I wanted other people to have their maybe traumas or perceived traumas or guilt or shame dissolved as soon as possible, even events that maybe happened 20 years ago. And in my perception, by working with your mind, you can obtain everything that has been obtained by human on earth, not everything as in generally speaking, but everything that's aligned with the laws of physics, of course, if you have the right mindset and if you have the right plan. So I am very pragmatic, as you see. I'm very keen on real things, even though it's a very spiritual and in-depth technique that I work with.
So you have integrated neuroscience principles into your coaching. Can you explain how understanding the brain's neuroplasticity aids in personal transformation?
Yes. So in my perspective, the brain is the hardware, and we've been installed different softwares. So what I do on a daily basis with my clients is that I help them rewire and reinstall different areas in their lives. Of course, you cannot do that overnight and at the same time with every area in your life, because that would be chaotic even for your nervous system. But we do this on a very structured plan over time. And it's like exchanging maybe a CD from from those machines that were very old, in which you put the CD and then you could switch it and you could switch it. So we are exchanging the software.
Yes, you make it easy. You make it sound easy.
I make it sound easy, but we both know it's not. So if I may, Alina, if you're here wondering how this could help you, please, before watching this video any longer, share it with your friends, because Alina does amazing things and they have to find out about her and about the event she's organizing. And I just, by knowing her, I know it's going to be a very powerful conversation. So if you're here, just share, like, and leave a comment about your thoughts on our discussion.
Thank you, Alina. So how about the reticular activating system? It plays a role in your methodology. How does this system influence our daily decisions and beliefs?
It's very nice that you're asking me, because I always say it's like having glasses of different colors, and I today have these yellow ones. So this system in our brain acts like you have, for example, red lens glasses, and you see everything in your surrounding as red. But at the same time, if you take them out and if you want to see certain things that are in your environment red, you can now see only the red things. So to be more specific, if we've been taught that red cars are associated with success, if we want success, we will find red cars. But we never ask ourselves, is this my definition of success? Is this what I really want? Is this the perception that I want people to have about me? Or am I able to create my own perception about success, about what success means to me? So by working with the reticular activating system, to get back to your question, we are understanding what filters are in our brain and how our brain filters reality. And by dissolving those perceptions, we are free to choose, not stay in the same patterns. I tend to to go round and round.
And we love it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You have shaped, you developed actually your money master method. What inspired its creation, and what are the core principles that it encompasses?
Yes, it's a 6-step method. It's Master, the name. And when I first talked about it with a friend, I said, "What's your take on this name, your money master?" And he said, "It's so bold, it's so arrogant, Alina, you shouldn't use it." And then I said, I will use it exactly for this purpose, that I want people to be their own money master. I don't want anyone to be their money master, and I want them to empower themselves. So it's a method that combines working with emotions, doing a strategy, and having the right automations in your business, very pragmatic things, and then taking inspired action. And then when I say inspired action, means that everything that empowers you, fulfills you, makes you feel like you're vibrating and sharing your mission with the world should stay in your calendar. Everything else should be either connected to your higher purpose or delegated and never seen again. I'm just joking with the never seen again, because it's not possible, but it should be delegated, of course.
How does this method address and transform conscious beliefs about money and self-worth?
So self-worth is very rooted in the order we have with money and the relationship we have with money that's taken from parents or authority figures. And by dissolving this perception, you can increase your self-worth, and of course with an aligned plan with you. So specifically, guilt and shame are the root of all evil in relationship with money and in relationship with how much people earn. Once we dissolve this, and they also see their admired and despised traits in authority figure, they are able to earn more, because they are not afraid they will be either punished for their success. They are not afraid of their success. They are not feeling indebted to their family for if they earn more, and they are free to expand their consciousness, if you may, and to earn even more.
Could you share a success story where this method scientifically impacted someone's financial journey?
Scientifically, it's so fun when you said scientifically. So it's not so much scientifically this example, but I love it. It's about Nicoleta, and I am saying hi if she's watching. She's one of my friends now, because clients tend to come in my life. At first, they are a bit skeptical because the market is now full of a lot of people that do a lot of methods. Some deliver, some not. But I just am telling them at first that they should try, and they'll see that it's a long-term relationship. Not because I am making them dependable, but because they want to stay. They are not leaving anymore. And so Nicoleta is one of these clients, and she's amazing because she's having physical stores of different car parts. She's in a man environment. She's in a highly competitive environment. She's having a very narrow audience in her area, and by dissolving some perceptions that she had and applying some strategies that we talked about and hiring the right people, she's been able to grow her business with 600K in 1 year. So yeah, she's one example, but there are many more. Even on YouTube, I can be searched for, on ChatGPT even, and you'll find even more if you're watching this. Definitely,
it's an amazing example, and I can understand why your clients want to become your friends as well. I can see that. I'm also really observing every word and trying to.
I love it. I love our connection. Yeah, I'm grateful for it.
We do have a special connection.
Yes.
Alina, during the pandemic, you launched a support group for 3,000 women.
Yes.
What motivated this initiative, and what outcomes did you observe?
Oh, wow. Pain motivated me. Pain is quite a motivator in my life, unfortunately. But
Which kind of pain?
Pain as in, I had my marketing agency then. And, the lockdown was announced from today to today. And then 11 of my 13 clients called me and said, Alina, we don't want to work with you anymore because we don't need you. And I entered a phase in which I have goosebumps when I remember the state of mind. I was talking to my husband and I said, I have to do something because otherwise I will lose my mind. And I knew that I had friends, a lot of friends, local friends, or national friends, that had businesses in handmade or things that were done in person, that were maybe older than I was, that maybe had loans, that maybe had kids, that maybe had a lot of stories in their lives. So then I started doing online meetings. They were called virtual coffees before they were even in fashion. And as I was working from home already, from my home office actually, we've started connecting, we've started networking, and it grew to be an amazing network of women that are still, some of them friends up to today. We've stopped the online meetings, but we will start them again soon on an international level. And that has been such an amazing story for me, even to be in, even though I'm the creator, because I entered those meetings and I perceived there was hope. When people stayed at home, when people got depressed, when people had no money, they had money. They had a purpose. They were connected. They were still doing what they loved. I still remember Gabriela. Gabriela knits, and she entered while knitting her dolls. And I was just staying there and looking at her, and I was so emotional. I was so grateful that I could do this for her and for the other women in the room.
You are so inspiring. When someone transforms deep-rooted beliefs, have you observed moments where their perception of the inner reality changes, such as stepping completely into a new dimension?
Yes. I always say that this process should be done with someone you trust and someone who has high ethics, because otherwise you could be very easily manipulated by sharing a lot of emotional baggage, if you may. So I perceive there is an inflection in everyone's journey when they start to work with themselves, in which they perceive themselves a bad person in regards to maybe their family or society for wanting to be different. And that's the perception that you could be excluded from the tribe.
Is it the type of loyalty that we unconsciously are diving into? That loyalty that if your parents have been going through tough moments financially, you should be doing the same.
Definitely, yes.
Or you're showing your
yes. I understand now why we connected so much, because we speak the same language. It's vibrating in the room. I wish you could feel the energy in the room. Definitely. But once they dissolve that perception and they see that they don't have to choose. You don't have to choose. You can have both money and happiness. You can have both money and health, both your parents well, and your husband, and your success, and traveling, and kids, and I don't know, an amazing, passionate life. You can have it all. Who says you cannot is lying, or she or he couldn't reach it.
Yes. We are so happy to have you.
I am happy to be here.
You have now an international community exceeding 30,000 individuals. So how do you maintain engagement and ensure every member feels supported? How do you do this?
Oh, Alina, this is no pressure. So in my perspective, whatever I do has both sides. This is what one of the laws I work with, the law of duality and polarity, says. And I don't expect myself to be seen as a hero to everyone. I just expect my message to reach those hearts that are open and that want to work with themselves and have a very structured person by them. So we have online meetings sometimes, as I told you. I am an international speaker. I do a lot of social media materials. I work with one-on-ones and retainers. But I don't think I can take the responsibility to make sure that every member of my community feels included. And it's just something that I perceive I cannot do. And at the same time, it's their responsibility to include themselves and to up-level themselves, to work with themselves and be in the room they want. Mm-hmm. I'm no savior.
And they probably share things which are precious to others as well in the community.
Yes. I don't like the perception of being someone's savior. Mm-hmm. My perception of what I do is that we walk shoulder to shoulder, and I show you different bits and pieces, different perceptions about that you have about your reality that could be different, and I'm questioning them. But I'm not your guru. I'm not your mentor. I'm not. I am your mentor, but in some moments. But I am. We are walking shoulder to shoulder. You're empowered. You're in control, and I'm guiding you through the steps. So this is my perspective about what I do. And I want people to take responsibility. No one is coming to save you. Absolutely, no one is going to wake up you at 5 o'clock or at 10 o'clock and save you.
And that is probably one of the most powerful starting points, that no one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself, and you would keep that energy and that attention within to ignite fully your starting point, the real
Indeed.
starting point.
Yeah, because if I were to save people, they would be easily manipulated. I want empowered people. I want to speak to them like equals. When people join one of my programs or start working with me one-to-one and they say, "Oh, Alina, you know better." I say, "No, cut this. I don't know better. I can share a different perspective, but you are the owner of your decisions. Because if I am taking ownership of your success, I will have to take ownership of your failures. And I don't want to do that. Not because I'm not taking responsibility, but because you deserve to be empowered. You totally deserve to be empowered in your money, in your relationships, even if in our relationship."
And because we actually have that power even though some don't know.
Yes, indeed.
What challenges have you faced in scaling your impact globally? How have you overcome them, if any?
Yes. So I faced mentors that wanted to keep me small. This was my main challenge. And how I won't give names because I don't do, and my relationship are confidential.
This is something very common in many areas these past years.
Yes.
Why do you think this is happening?
I perceive people see the market as limited, and they are not. Sometimes they don't realize that if people are empowered, they will truly empower themselves. And they have a good marketing message, and they are not ready to maybe give their fame, part of their fame away. But I don't perceive that the market is limited. I perceive that people are free to choose, that my message will reach the perfect people. And how I got over it, I just work, Alina. I don't stop. I just go and do what I do every day.
And you share your wisdom and your energy with us.
Yes.
And we thank you for that. You have mentioned working with the universal laws in your coaching.
Yes.
Which laws do you find most transformative and why?
The law of duality and polarity that says that everything has pluses and minuses equally. The law of transparency that says that everything I see in you is both in me, good or bad. And the law of transformation that says that once a form of energy appears, it never disappears. So, for example, to be very practical, if your mother died, unfortunately, or you lost a pet, for example, and you felt extremely loved, you still have that form of energy and you're receiving it from different groups of people. And if you dissolve it, it won't hurt anymore. The love and the gratitude still remains.
That's beautiful. How do these laws complement the scientific aspects of your methodology?
So I've tried a lot of methods before finding this perfect combination in my puzzle. So the mind work I do is with the DeMartini method, and he's done, Dr. John, I'm grateful to be one of his facilitators, and he's done an amazing job for over 55 years, I think, in developing this method. And I have my marketing and sales experience, and I've also took the liberty of adding automations and procedures and all of the systems. And inspired action is something that my clients have to do in order for getting results. So it's a 3-step method that I worked a lot to put together in this way.
Could you provide an example of how understanding these laws has led to a breakthrough for one of your clients?
I remember one client of mine that is an entrepreneur. He's a millionaire, actually. Mm-hmm. And when he entered the session, he said that he wanted to go global, to open a lot of franchise. He has a dental practice. And in that session, we saw that he had a loyalty to his mother. He was afraid that his mother would die if he would go global because of his success. Once that was unlocked,
was that a conscious fear or
no,
was
no,
that
no,
a subconscious fear?
I think he was knowing with part of his heart what's happening there, because they were very close. But in that session, he really opened up and he allowed himself to dissolve it from A to Z. And once we made a plan, he was able to scale his business, and now I think he has 100 franchises around the world. But he's such a hard worker. So yeah, he's the dissolving part is my merit, but the rest of the work for the implementation is definitely his. And I am saying hello to him. I know he doesn't want to be mentioned, so I respect that.
So you have helped entrepreneurs implement automation and delegation.
Yes.
How do these strategies align with mindset shifts?
So usually people from my field and your field of expertise are very spiritual, very energy. And I always wanted, by working since working in a corporation, I always wanted logical steps, clear steps for me to implement. I when I went to therapy and that person told me, go there and feel, I always asked, what I should do exactly? give me the steps. So usually my clients are like this, very people that want to take action. So could you please repeat the question, because I was so concentrating on your reaction that I forgot my point.
You have helped entrepreneurs implement automation and delegation.
Yes, I remember. Yes. Okay, automation and delegation. Okay. So
or maybe you would like to share what do we mean by automation?
Yes, of course. Of course. So money on autopilot, basically. People that sleep and make money.
We like money on autopilot. That is why I would like to delve into this.
Yes, we like money on autopilot, but when that happens, our body gets into stress because we are wired to work hard for them. And if they come in a new easy way, we tend to overspend, not be careful about it, not respect it. So the relationship around money is something that I've truly studied in my life and from my experience with clients. And so delegation is hard because they tend to be like hands on their eggs and protecting every little task to be perfect. Automation is sometimes hard to implement because money on autopilot sounds amazing in theory, but in practicality, it's hard to manage emotionally if you're not prepared. But these two, by working with your mind before and during the process, are very easy to integrate in your life.
So in your experience, what common mindset barriers hinder entrepreneurs from embracing automation? What are the most common such barriers?
I think guilt and shame. Guilt and shame. Yes, guilt and shame are the ones that are
feeling guilty for spending.
No, feeling guilty for having success or wanting more success. And needing a better life than their parents had.
If you could give one piece of advice to someone feeling stuck in their personal or professional life, what would it be?
Just do the work. Just do the work. Come on, wash your face, get in some nice clothes, and do the work. Inner work, outer work, just do the work. Don't expect results from nothing, because they won't. You won't get results out of nothing. It's hard work. What you see now, and even this discussion is hard work. People need to stop thinking that they could manifest anything from nothing. Manifesting means to materialize, to bring into matter what's in your mind, but you have to do some work.
There are some special steps to follow.
Special steps to follow, even a strategy. You have to put yourself out there. So it's inner and outer work as well.
So they say greatest success is behind your greatest fear.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Alina, for
Thank you.
this inspiring journey and all the amazing insights you shared with us today.
Thank you. You've been such a great host. And I know you want to do the ending part, but before that, I am waiting for everyone that's seen this podcast on October. I will be a keynote speaker on a conference that Alina is so gracefully organizing. And I cannot wait to see you all there because it's going to be amazing. The lineup is it's great, and it's going to be exploring consciousness. So I guess you'll be finding the link below, and yeah, I can't wait to meet you in person.
Thank you, Alina. So until next time, stay curious and stay conscious.